Hello and welcome to SquishiVision. A couple of days ago, or somehow I only got a notification about yesterday, the trailer for Star Trek, well, a teaser for Star Trek Prodigy dropped. Um, this video, like all my other Star Trek videos, will almost certainly be copyright claimed and I have to cut out the actual trailer reaction, which is going to be annoying because that always happens. Sorry. But fortunately, I can keep the other bits of the video so you'll see my responses. If you're watching this live, you'll see my reaction. If you're watching afterwards, you're probably going to end up just seeing my response to it. But yeah, this is the Nickelodeon animated series, so aimed at a younger audience, a family audience. Well, yeah, a younger audience. Don't actually know what we know about it. Maybe I should search it up real quick. The big thing is obviously that Kate Mulgrew is returning as Catherine Janeway for the first time since Nemesis, I think. So apparently it's being launched as part of Alex Kurtzman's extended Star Trek universe, which I don't know what that actually means. Never heard of that before. That term, but apparently it's been a thing since 2017. So apparently the Star Trek universe is just a label they're using for like the expanded franchise, but I don't know how that's any different. I guess it's to differentiate the Star Trek franchise from the Star Trek original series, I suppose. So sure, okay, that's fine. We can go with that. I just never knew that was a phrase that they were using. It's a very good one. And yeah, so it's gonna be on Paramount Plus and Nickelodeon. So I'm not sure if I'm actually gonna be able to watch it here in the UK. Hopefully, maybe it'll go on Netflix, like the US series have. So it's starring. Well, let's go down the cast list actually. Actually, let's go to the premise. So it's the first Star Trek series that uses CGI animation. It's gonna be 10 episodes, so it's fairly slow. It's set in 2383. So I'm gonna quickly search that on Memory Alpha because I can't remember where that places this in the Star Trek canon. But I'm sure we will find out real quick. Oh no, if this is taking a long time to load. Maybe if I just search 24th century. So this will be 8 years. This will be 8 years after Voyager, but it'll be set 16 years before Picard, Star Trek Picard. So it's kind of in the middle there. Right, cool. We've established that. So it's in a Delta Quadrant, which I think is where Voyager was lost. God, I'm not really showing off my Star Trek cred here very well. Okay, let's go for the cast list. So yes, that's where Voyager was lost. So we have Kate Mulgrew as the emergency training hologram based off of the captain of the USS Voyager. We have Riley Alazrequi, I've probably butchered that, I'm very sorry, playing Rock Tak, who is a shy 80-year-old Brickar who loves animals. I don't know what I'm saying about as if I'm a children's TV presenter introducing a kid onto a show. Doesn't have a Wikipedia page, so I'm assuming they're a relative newcomer. I actually don't recognise any of the other cast. So 7 names. We've got Angus Emery, Brett Gray, Jason Mantzoukas, and Ella Purnell. I don't recognise any of these people, but they're all playing young characters. So hopefully there's a bigger trend now to actually cast young. Well, I was going to say young. I mean, this person's from born in 1972, so maybe not. Most of the others are relatively young actors, apart from this dude who isn't, which is a difference from back in the day when they used to make longer kind of cartoons and they'd cast women to play young boys because of it's easy for them to maintain a voice. And then we have D. Bradley Baker, famous for playing all the clones in the animated Star Wars series, who plays Murph, an indestructible blob with good timing and apt to have ship parts. And then Billy Campbell is guest starring in it. That's all we really know. Other than it's more kids focused rather than Lower Decks, which is more adult focused. Rod Roddenberry is executive producing it, but he does that with all the shows, so it's not really much different. Right, let's actually look at the trailer and see what we can discern, shall we? This is the right headset. This is the right headset. Just unloop it. There we go. Right. So if you're watching this not live, and there's a time skip, it's because this was copyright claimed, and we're going to jump to my reaction. If you're watching this live, then hopefully you'll see me react to it. I'm going to skip to the next video.
Energizing. Energizing.
What is this?
Energizing. Energizing. Oh, yeah.
Oh dear. Right, okay. Kind of want to scrub through the video again. How do I get the video? Or do the video back? Do I have to refresh the page? I guess I have to refresh the page. Right. So immediate reactions to that. Yeah, no, it looks decent. The graphics don't look too bad. Right. Let's get this back up, shall we? Also, if there was a time skip there, welcome back. Right. Let's kill the audio. Yeah, no, graphics still look terrible. For what it is, so that's alright. Visually, there's some good things. So we see a bunch of our characters. Oh, okay, I have to. So this is the voice. I can't actually remember what it said now.
Shall escape.
Yeah, something about not being able to escape, which is quite sinister. And so I don't think these characters are actually members of Starfleet. I think they're inhabitants of. Hang on, are any of these races actually races that we've seen before? So some of these races are possibly all of these. Oh, okay, no, there's a Tellarite. We know who Tellarites are. There's a Var, but a whole bunch of the other races aren't species we've seen before. So I think these are like mostly aliens who are natives to the Delta Quadrant, and we'll scrub through. But I don't think it's actually, because I think there's more facial expressions. But maybe it's an allusion to a silicon creature, whose name I should remember. I can't scrub through this because you have to play it. So these, I think, they're wearing the similar space costumes. I think these are probably Starfleet issue space costumes from the ship that they find later on. So it looks like a creature made out of rock. We've seen those kind of things before in Star Trek. I have no idea who these are main cast and who these aren't. I mean, some of them are obvious, some of them are not. This dude who might be the rogue freighter captain, Van Duin Okanar. Not sure if this blob here is meant to be Murph or not. That Deep Valley Breaker. It's not who I expect Deep Valley Breaker to voice, but it might very well be. I'm guessing this is the this is probably Gwyn, the played by Ella, which is the USS, and got the lead forward, potentially out of frame. Protostar, and it's an NX class ship. So the NX designation is of experimental ship, so we know it's a prototype, which often seems to be crashed on planets, it seems. So it seems the situation here is that this ship somehow got crashed into the Delta Quadrant. Maybe it was out exploring, maybe it was an unmanned ship, whatever. And they find it as not members of Starfleet, and you know, the emergency training hologram is going to basically teach them how to be Starfleet officers from scratch. That seems to be the insinuation. It's definitely meant to invoke Voyager vibes for sure, the shape of the ship, without explicitly being Voyager. And then we hear Captain Janeway's voice, and then there's this sort of thing. Yeah, it's not much there. I think we get, well, actually we get quite a bit. We know about the ship, which according to Wikipedia is an abandoned starship, so that makes sense. And we see some glimpses of it. I think the character we saw is probably Roktak, and then I think we also probably saw Gwyn. Not sure about the other characters really. I didn't see anyone who looked like a Tellarite necessarily. In the animated style we use. Animated style looks fine. It's very Nickelodeon, but it's kind of decent-ish. So yeah, that's my thoughts. I think it's. I'm going to try to watch it if I can, see how it is. You know, I'm not going to like dismiss it because it's aimed at kids. I've been watching Jurassic Park Cretaceous Camp recently. I'll be surprised by how actually decent and good that show is. So hopefully this is kind of the same trend and the same kind of quality, and hopefully it adds a bit more to the kind of lore and mythos. And I think I need to watch Star Trek the animated series actually, because I've not seen that either. I need to basically want to do some point is marathon all of Star Trek. Oh gosh, but the reason my uniform's not fitting me is because I haven't bothered putting the zip up properly because I was just wearing it sitting down. Yeah, I don't think anything else is kind of there in terms of Easter eggs, mainly because it's also on planets we haven't seen before. So this allows them to explore kind of new areas of Star Trek and new kind of planets and new concepts without stepping on toes or anything else, which is a good shout. Because I think the one thing that people who write for family shows don't want to do is be bogged down in loads of lore. So they're probably glad of that, I suppose. I'm just trying to think what else there is, but obviously this video is hard to script through. Again, a lot of like tech, but nothing that we can really dig from because nothing else here. I don't recognize anything from memory as being familiar of things we've seen before, so I think it's all kind of unique to this area. But that's fine because Star Trek is all about evolving. It should be about moving on and exploring kind of strange new worlds that we haven't seen before, not rehashing old things. Hopefully, during the series, we'll see. We'll revisit some of the old Star Trek Voyager things we explored that you could only really see in Star Trek Voyager because a Delta Quadrant and Nova series was, and we get kind of tiny Easter eggs between them. Maybe we'll see some of the Kazon. A lot of a lot of like the new Star Wars shows like The Mandalorian and Rebels and the later kind of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. We did a lot to kind of, I don't say redeem because I don't think any Star Wars is, I put the focus on the positives of Star Wars rather than the negatives of Star Wars, and everything has its good, everything has its bad. But there were some parts of Star Wars which split people, obviously, as I was saying, and they did a lot of good work in taken the latest shows to kind of redo them in a much more, in a way which lots of people have accepted, much have been more on board with, shall we say, as a collective. And I think a lot of Star Trek Voyager is often kind of considered split hairs quite a lot more than any of the series, so maybe they'll explore some of these concepts and redo them. I don't think I used the best words there, but hopefully you get my point. So what did you think of this short preview? Does it give you any kind of inclination, or is it too short to tell? You might wait until you see the proper trailer. I think I'm still excited to see, Kate Mulgrew back into the role, so it's nice if someone reprises the role. Hopefully we see quite a bit of them, but obviously not enough that they take away from the rest of the characters. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.